Tolkien is Real Theory proposes that J.R.R. Tolkien's works of fantasy literature are actually based on true historical events and beings. Proponents argue that Tolkien's extensive linguistic and mythological knowledge allowed him to decipher and translate ancient texts describing real Middle-earth events. Some researchers claim to have identified geographical locations in Europe and the Middle East that correspond to places described in Tolkien's works. The theory suggests that races like elves, dwarves, and hobbits once coexisted with humans but have since gone into hiding or become extinct. Advocates point to unexplained archaeological findings and folklore from various cultures as evidence supporting the reality of Tolkien's world. Some believers argue that Tolkien's academic career was a cover for his work in translating and revealing these hidden histories. The theory incorporates ideas from alternative archaeology, proposing that certain ancient artifacts are actually of elven or dwarven origin. Proponents believe that studying Tolkien's works as historical documents could lead to discoveries about lost civilizations and technologies. Some researchers suggest that certain human bloodlines carry traces of Elvish or Númenórean ancestry, explaining exceptional longevity or abilities in some individuals. Advocates argue that the theory explains the deep resonance many people feel with Tolkien's world and characters. The theory proposes that magic, as described in Tolkien's works, was once a real force in the world, with remnants still accessible to certain individuals. Tomoki Uemiya is a Japanese individual who claims to receive messages from extraterrestrial beings, particularly from the Pleiades star cluster. Proponents argue that Uemiya's consistent and detailed communications since 1994 suggest a genuine connection with non-terrestrial intelligence. Some researchers believe Uemiya's messages contain advanced spiritual and technological information beyond current human understanding. The theory suggests that the Pleiades, a star cluster visible to the naked eye, hosts a highly evolved civilization interested in Earth's development. Advocates point to the coherence and depth of Uemiya's channeled information as evidence of its authenticity. Some believers argue that Uemiya's experiences align with other contactee accounts, indicating a broader pattern of extraterrestrial communication. The theory incorporates ideas from both ufology and spiritual traditions, proposing a cosmic interconnectedness. Proponents believe that studying Uemiya's messages could lead to advancements in human consciousness and technology. Some researchers suggest that Uemiya's ability to receive these messages indicates an innate human capacity for interstellar telepathy. Advocates argue that the spiritual and ethical content of the messages aligns with humanity's need for cosmic guidance. The theory proposes that Uemiya's contact experiences are part of a larger disclosure process preparing humanity for open extraterrestrial contact. TOR, or the Onion Router, is a network designed to enable anonymous communication and protect users' privacy by routing internet traffic through a series of volunteer-operated servers, nodes, that encrypt data multiple times. This multi-layered encryption is likened to the layers of an onion, hence the name. It is widely used by individuals seeking to protect their privacy, evade censorship, or browse the web anonymously. However, despite its reputation as a tool for anonymity and privacy, some claim that it is secretly owned and controlled by the government. Proponents of this theory point to the initial development by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory as evidence of ongoing government involvement. They argue that the continued funding of the project by government agencies, including the U.S. State Department, suggests a vested interest in maintaining control over the network. Some believers claim that the government uses this system to monitor dissident activities and track illegal operations under the guise of providing anonymity. The theory gains traction from instances where law enforcement agencies have successfully de-anonymized users, leading some to speculate about backdoors or vulnerabilities known only to government entities. Supporters often cite the case of the Silk Road takedown, questioning how authorities managed to locate the site's servers if the network was truly secure and independent. The complex nature of its node structure is seen by some as an ideal cover for government surveillance, allowing for the insertion of compromised relays without arousing suspicion. The Toronto Protocol refers to a purported secret plan devised by global elites to manipulate and control society on a worldwide scale. This alleged scheme was said to have been formulated in 1967 in Toronto, Canada, by a group known as 666, comprised of leaders from major banks, energy companies, and agri-food conglomerates. The core objective of this plan was reportedly the creation of a world society of leisure designed to distract the masses from societal decay and consolidate power in the hands of a few. Proponents claim the protocol outlines strategies to promote activities like sex, drugs, sports, and travel as means of diverting attention from more pressing issues. The alleged agenda includes breaking down family structures, blurring class distinctions, and fostering dependency on centralized authority through infiltration of media, fashion, and cultural institutions. One controversial aspect of the purported plan involves the establishment of offices for the protection of children to limit parental rights and shape future generations according to the elite's vision. The protocol supposedly details methods for creating a new world order by eroding moral and religious values, promoting sexual freedom, encouraging divorce and abortion, and infiltrating feminist movements. Believers in the Toronto Protocol point to societal changes and global events as evidence of this plan being carried out over decades. The concept was introduced by Serge Monast, a Canadian investigative journalist also known for his work on Project Bluebeam, who died under what some consider suspicious circumstances before fully disseminating his findings. Critics argue that the lack of concrete evidence and the sweeping nature of the claims make the Toronto Protocol difficult to verify, while supporters see it as a revealing insight into the machinations of global power structures. Torsion fields are a theoretical concept related to quantum spin, proposing that objects can generate and be affected by a previously unknown form of energy. This theory suggests that by manipulating the spin of particles, it's possible to create effects that transcend conventional limitations of physics, such as drag and gravity. Proponents argue that torsion fields could explain various unexplained phenomena, including UFO propulsion systems capable of interstellar travel. Some researchers claim that torsion fields might be the underlying mechanism for psychic abilities like telepathy, providing a scientific basis for these controversial phenomena. The theory posits that torsion fields represent a fundamental force in the universe, as essential as electromagnetism or gravity, but operating on a quantum level. Advocates suggest that harnessing torsion fields could revolutionize technology, potentially leading to anti-gravity devices or instantaneous communication systems. Critics argue that there's no empirical evidence for torsion fields, but supporters maintain that conventional scientific instruments may be inadequate for detecting them. Some experiments claim to have demonstrated torsion field effects, though these results are disputed within the scientific community. Torsion field theory has gained traction in certain scientific circles, particularly in Russia, where significant research has been conducted on the subject. Believers in torsion fields see them as a potential unifying theory, bridging the gap between quantum mechanics and larger-scale physical phenomena.
Like this video and subscribe to Maker.
Toxoplasmosis is a parasitic infection that some researchers believe can influence human behavior and cultural trends on a large scale. The parasite Toxoplasma gondii is commonly found in cat feces and can infect humans through contact with contaminated soil or undercooked meat. Studies have shown that infected rodents lose their fear of cats, making them more likely to be eaten and allowing the parasite to complete its life cycle. Some scientists propose that toxoplasmosis may have similar effects on human behavior, potentially increasing risk-taking tendencies and altering personality traits. Research has suggested links between toxoplasmosis infection and increased rates of car accidents, entrepreneurship, and even certain cultural characteristics in different countries. Proponents of this theory point to correlations between national infection rates and traits like neuroticism, uncertainty avoidance, and masculine sex roles across different societies. The idea that a microscopic organism could be secretly shaping human culture and behavior has led some to speculate about its potential role in global events and societal trends. Critics argue that while the behavioral effects of toxoplasmosis are well documented in animals, the evidence for widespread human behavioral changes remains largely circumstantial. The Transhumanism Agenda refers to a proposed global plan to fundamentally alter human biology and consciousness through advanced technology. Proponents of this theory believe that powerful organizations and individuals are working to merge humans with machines, creating a new species of cyborgs or posthumans. They point to rapid advancements in fields like artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, and genetic engineering as evidence of this agenda being implemented. Some argue that the ultimate goal is to achieve immortality by uploading human consciousness into computers or artificial bodies. Supporters of this theory often cite public statements from tech billionaires and futurists about extending human lifespans and enhancing cognitive abilities through technology. The development of brain-computer interfaces and neural implants is seen by some as a step towards realizing this transhumanist vision. Believers in the Transhumanism Agenda suggest that mainstream media and education systems are being used to normalize the idea of human-machine integration. Critics of transhumanism worry about the potential loss of human identity, increased social inequality, and the ethical implications of radically altering human nature. Transient global amnesia refers to a sudden, temporary loss of memory formation ability, typically lasting several hours. During an episode, individuals retain their identity and ability to perform complex tasks, but cannot form new memories or recall recent events. The condition usually resolves on its own within 24 hours, with no long-term effects on memory or cognition. Some theorists propose a controversial concept called TGA gray spacing, suggesting these episodes involve intentional manipulation, or editing of memories. Proponents of this idea speculate that external forces, ranging from government experiments to paranormal entities, may be responsible for inducing TGA episodes. They point to anecdotal reports of individuals experiencing strange phenomena or feelings of being observed during TGA episodes as potential evidence. The gray spacing theory posits that TGA could be a form of paranormal debugging, where unknown entities adjust human memories for undisclosed purposes. While mainstream medical understanding attributes TGA to neurological or vascular causes, the gray spacing concept highlights the ongoing mystery surrounding the condition's exact mechanisms. The tree swastika refers to a peculiar formation of larch trees discovered in a forest near Zernikow, Germany, in 1992. The trees formed a distinct swastika shape when viewed from the air, measuring approximately 200 by 200 feet. Investigations revealed that the swastika was deliberately planted in the late 1930s, during the Nazi era. The formation remained hidden for decades due to the trees only being visible from above during a few weeks each year when their needles changed color. Some theories suggest that the planting was ordered by Nazi officials as a birthday gift to Hitler, while others believe it was the work of a local forester. Similar tree formations have been discovered in other parts of Germany and former Nazi-occupied territories, leading some to speculate about a wider network of such symbols. The discovery of these formations has sparked debates about historical memory, land art, and the lasting impact of totalitarian regimes on landscapes. Despite efforts to remove or alter the swastika formation, traces of it remain visible, serving as an unintended monument to a dark period in history. Trees are mammals is an unconventional theory, proposing that trees possess characteristics typically associated with mammalian life forms. Proponents of this idea argue that trees exhibit complex social behaviors, including communication through underground fungal networks often referred to as the Wood Wide Web. Some researchers claim to have observed trees sharing resources and nurturing their offspring, behaviors reminiscent of mammalian parental care. The theory points to the presence of a cambium layer in trees, likening it to the dermal layer in mammals, both serving protective and regenerative functions. Supporters of this concept highlight trees' ability to respond to environmental stimuli, suggesting a form of sensory perception akin to that found in mammals. The idea draws parallels between tree sap and mammalian blood, both serving as vital fluids for nutrient transport and overall health of the organism. Some theorists propose that the seasonal shedding and regrowth of leaves in deciduous trees is analogous to the molting process observed in some mammals. While controversial, this theory challenges conventional biological classifications and encourages a broader understanding of plant intelligence and complexity. Trepanning is an ancient surgical practice involving the drilling of holes in the human skull, believed by some to have spiritual and medicinal benefits. This ancient surgical practice involves drilling holes in the human skull and was believed by some to have spiritual and medicinal benefits. The procedure dates back to prehistoric times, with evidence of skulls treated this way found in archaeological sites across the world. Proponents of modern versions claim it can increase blood flow to the brain, leading to enhanced consciousness and cognitive abilities. Some practitioners argue that it can relieve chronic headaches, depression, and other neurological disorders by reducing intracranial pressure. Supporters often cite historical accounts of this method being used to treat epilepsy and mental illnesses in various cultures. Modern advocates sometimes perform the procedure on themselves, documenting their experiences and reporting feelings of euphoria and heightened awareness. The theory behind its alleged benefits is based on the idea that the adult skull is a closed system that restricts blood flow and brain pulsation. The Triassic Mystery refers to the enigmatic events surrounding the beginning and end of the Triassic period, which lasted from about 252 to 201 million years ago. This era is bookended by two major mass extinction events, with the causes still debated among scientists. The Permian-Triassic extinction at the start of the period wiped out nearly 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrate species, making it one of Earth's most catastrophic extinctions. Some researchers propose that massive volcanic eruptions in what is now Siberia released vast amounts of carbon dioxide, leading to severe global warming and widespread ecological collapse. Despite these devastating events, the Triassic period saw remarkable biodiversity and evolutionary innovation, including the first appearance of dinosaurs and early mammals. The fossil record provides tantalizing clues, such as the discovery of Eoraptor in Argentina, supporting theories that dinosaurs may have first evolved in South America. The Triassic-Jurassic extinction at the end of the period coincided with volcanic activities in the Central Atlantic Magmatic Province, potentially linked to the breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea. The resilience of life during this tumultuous time and the rapid diversification that followed continue to intrigue scientists, making the Triassic period a focal point for understanding Earth's evolutionary history. The Trilateral Commission is a non-governmental organization founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller, bringing together influential figures from North America, Europe, and Asia. Some conspiracy theorists claim that the Commission is a secretive group working to establish a new world order and global economic control. Some theorists argue that the organization's members, who include political leaders, business executives, and academics, wield disproportionate influence over global affairs. Supporters of this view point to the high-profile positions held by many commission members in governments, corporations, and international institutions. The Commission's stated goal of fostering closer cooperation among democratic industrialized nations is seen by some as a cover for more nefarious objectives. Critics argue that the group's private meetings and lack of public accountability contribute to suspicions about its true intentions. Some theorists believe that the Trilateral Commission works in conjunction with other organizations like the Bilderberg Group and the Council on Foreign Relations to shape global policies. While mainstream sources describe the Commission as a discussion forum, its detractors see it as evidence of a globalist elite working to undermine national sovereignty. Trump conspiracies refer to a wide array of theories surrounding former U.S. President Donald Trump, his presidency, and his influence on American politics. One prominent theory suggests that Trump is secretly working to dismantle a deep state network of corrupt officials and elites, often referred to as the Storm or QAnon. Proponents of this view point to cryptic messages allegedly posted by a high-level government insider, known as Q, on anonymous online forums. Some believers claim that Trump's seemingly erratic behavior and controversial statements are part of an elaborate code or strategy to communicate with his supporters. Another conspiracy theory proposes that Trump's 2020 election loss was the result of widespread voter fraud, despite a lack of evidence accepted by courts or election officials. Supporters of this idea cite alleged irregularities in vote counting, unsubstantiated claims of hacked voting machines, and purported eyewitness accounts of ballot tampering. Some theories suggest that Trump is still secretly in control of the U.S. military and will be reinstated as president, with various predicted dates having come and gone. Theories have surfaced surrounding recent attempts on Trump's life, with some speculating that the attackers may have been victims of MKUltra, possibly manipulated through mind control to carry out the assaults. The security breaches that allowed these incidents to unfold have fueled speculation that the events could have been orchestrated from within. Given Trump's polarizing nature, many across the political spectrum suggest the attacks might have been staged. Some believe it to be a political stunt by his opponents, or even a shadow government seeking to influence America's future. Others suggest Trump himself may have engineered these events to garner sympathy from voters and strengthen his bid for re-election. TSUKI refers to a mysterious user who appeared online, claiming to offer a way to transcend our current reality. This individual proposed that we exist in a false reality, and that death can be a gateway to ascending to higher levels of existence. According to TSUKI, there are specific steps one can follow to ensure they level up to the next tier of reality upon death. The theory posits that our world is part of a larger system space with multiple layers or tiers of reality. TSUKI offered what they called entry passes to followers, supposedly granting them access to these higher realms after death. The procedure emphasized that suicide was not a valid method to ascend, as it would supposedly disrupt the natural progression through the system. This concept taps into the broader simulation theory that suggests our reality is a constructed environment, possibly created by advanced beings or technology. Followers of the TSUKI procedure believe that by adhering to certain rules or actions in life, they can influence their destination in the afterlife or next reality. Tulpas are believed to be conscious entities created through intense focus and meditation, existing independently of their creator's mind. Proponents of tulpa creation claim these thought forms can develop their own personalities, thoughts, and even physical sensations. The concept originates from Tibetan mysticism, but has gained popularity in online communities dedicated to tulpa practices. Some practitioners report being able to interact with their tulpas through visualization, internal dialogue, or even perceived physical manifestations. Tulpa creators often document their experiences in online forums, describing the development process and interactions with their thought forms. Skeptics argue that tulpas are a form of self-induced hallucination, or dissociation, while believers maintain they are separate consciousnesses. Some researchers suggest that tulpa creation may involve similar cognitive processes to those seen in dissociative identity disorder. The practice of creating tulpas has led to discussions about the nature of consciousness, identity, and the limits of human cognitive abilities. UFO disclosure refers to the hypothetical event in which governments, particularly the United States, officially reveal classified information about extraterrestrial life and unidentified flying objects. Proponents of this theory believe that governments possess extensive knowledge about alien visitations and advanced technologies derived from extraterrestrial sources. Some advocates point to declassified documents, eyewitness accounts from military personnel, and alleged insider testimonies as evidence of a long-standing cover-up. The theory gained momentum in recent years with the U.S. Navy's confirmation of several leaked videos showing unexplained aerial phenomena. Supporters argue that gradual disclosure has already begun, citing the establishment of the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force in 2020. Some researchers claim that certain government officials and aerospace companies are preparing the public for full disclosure through controlled information releases. The theory also encompasses the idea that disclosure would have profound implications for energy production, transportation, and our understanding of the universe. Skeptics maintain that while unidentified phenomena exist, there is no concrete evidence of extraterrestrial involvement or a government conspiracy to hide such information. UFOs as atmospheric life forms is a theory proposing that some unidentified flying objects are actually living creatures inhabiting Earth's atmosphere. Proponents of this idea suggest these beings could be composed of plasma or other energy forms, explaining their ability to move in ways that seem to defy conventional physics. The theory draws parallels to deep-sea creatures discovered in recent decades, arguing that Earth's atmosphere could harbor similarly exotic life forms. Supporters point to reports of UFOs shape-shifting, merging, and splitting as evidence of biological behavior rather than mechanical craft. Some researchers claim that these atmospheric organisms might feed on electromagnetic energy, explaining their frequent appearances near power lines and nuclear facilities. The theory also proposes that ball lightning and other unexplained atmospheric phenomena could be manifestations of these life forms. Advocates argue that this explanation accounts for the long history of UFO sightings across cultures and the lack of physical evidence of extraterrestrial visitations. While mainstream science does not support this theory, it has gained traction among some ufologists as an alternative to the extraterrestrial hypothesis. The Ummo Case refers to a series of alleged contacts between humans and extraterrestrial beings from a planet called Ummo. Proponents claim that these beings sent numerous letters and reports to scientists and UFO researchers, primarily in Spain and France, during the 1960s and 1970s. The communications supposedly contained advanced scientific and philosophical information, including details about Ummo's society, technology, and biology. Some researchers argue that the complexity and consistency of the information provided across hundreds of pages suggest an origin beyond human fabrication. Advocates point to certain predictions made in the Ummo letters that allegedly came true years later, such as advancements in genetics and computer technology. The case includes physical evidence, like photographs of supposed Ummo craft and soil samples allegedly from Ummo landings. Some believers claim that the Ummo beings established a small colony on Earth to study human civilization. The theory incorporates elements of linguistics, as the Ummo communications included a detailed description of their language and writing system. The theory proposes that ongoing analysis of the Ummo documents could lead to breakthroughs in various scientific fields and our understanding of extraterrestrial life. The UN Agenda refers to a set of conspiracy theories surrounding the United Nations' Sustainable Development Goals and initiatives. Proponents of these theories claim that the UN's plans, particularly Agenda 21 and its successor, Agenda 2030, are covert attempts to establish a global totalitarian government. Some believers argue that sustainability programs are designed to restrict individual freedoms, control population growth, and consolidate wealth and power. Theorists point to the implementation of smart cities and environmental regulations as evidence of increasing government control over citizens' lives. Supporters of this view often cite the UN's promotion of global cooperation on issues like climate change as a front for eroding national sovereignty. The theory gained traction through social media and alternative news sites, with some local governments in the United States even passing resolutions against Agenda 21. Critics of the UN Agenda theory argue that it misinterprets voluntary, non-binding agreements aimed at addressing global challenges. Despite mainstream dismissal, the persistence of these theories reflects broader concerns about globalization, environmental policies, and the role of international organizations. The United States as one grand experiment posits that the nation's founding and development represent a large-scale social and political trial. This theory suggests that the U.S. Constitution serves as a research protocol, outlining the parameters for governance and individual rights. Proponents argue that the system of checks and balances acts as an experimental control, designed to prevent power imbalances and allow for societal adjustments. The concept of America as a melting pot is viewed as a key variable in this experiment, testing how diverse cultures and ideologies can coexist under a unified set of principles. Civil rights movements throughout U.S. history are seen as course corrections, refining the experimental parameters to better align with the nation's founding ideals. Supporters of this theory point to the American dream as the experiment's outcome measure, representing the promise of upward mobility and prosperity for all. The ongoing debates and adjustments to U.S. policies and societal norms are interpreted as part of the experimental process, with the nation continually evolving based on new challenges and insights. This perspective on American history and governance offers a framework for analyzing the country's past, present, and future as part of an ongoing societal experiment.